Hello everyone, you're welcome to this channel. Today we shall be looking at further details in process modeling and simulation. Specifically, we shall be looking at distributed parameter system. All along we have been looking at lump parameter system because we have been looking at batch reactor, continuous reactor, where we have stirrer mixing the content of the reactor. As a result, the concentrations are always uniform. The temperature are always uniform throughout the control volume. But in distributed parameter system, we don't have the opportunity of using stirrer. So as a result of that, as the reactant, as the energy move from one state to the other, they change values. So this is what is called distributed parameter system. It occurs majorly in tubular reactor or plug flow reactor. So let's look at an example here. Assume that a fluid at 20 degrees Celsius is fed into a cylindrical tube of length L, 60 meter in length and radius 0.2 meter. At a rate of Q, 4 meter cube per hour. Assume also that this tube exchanges heat with a jacket whose temperature is 300 degrees Celsius. Determine the axial profile of the temperature inside the tube. Consider that the system is in a steady state and there is no radial or angular variation of temperature inside the tube. Consider also that the thermal deviation is not important in any direction. Density is 900. The specific fluid heat is 3000 and the global heat coefficient of heat transfer is 60,000 joule per hour meter cube meter square degree Celsius. So basically we are balancing energy. We are balancing for energy because we are looking for temperature profile inside the tube. And this is a distributed parameter system. We are given some parameters here. Let's look at how the tube actually looks like. So this is the tube. We can see that the inner tube is the tubular reactor where our reactant or our fluid passes through. There is an outer tube or outer jacket where hot water passes through to heat up the inner tube. So the hot water comes from underneath and passes through and goes out at the top portion. The temperature of the water in the jacket or the fluid in the jacket is 300 degrees Celsius. Now, because the fluid goes in from stage to stage and continue to heat up, that means temperature at the beginning, difference of temperature later, at the middle, at the end. So temperature continues to change as we move along the length of the reactor. So because of that, in order to take our control volume, remember the definition of control volume is a portion where the temperature or the concentration is uniform. So, and in the old tube, it's not uniform. We now take a very small portion like this, which is at a thickness of delta T. We take a very small portion with a thickness of delta X rather. So, where we assume that the temperature is uniform. And if it's concentration is also uniform. So, it's just that's the idea of infinitesimal variation in the calculus. That when you take a very tiny portion, everything is the same within that tiny portion. So how do we now do it? So let's see how so we balance. We set up our balance around this small slice. So energy goes into the small slice, energy goes out of the small slice, and energy also is expended or exchanged with the outside heat jacket. You remember that. So that means there is energy, there are two energy sources now. There are two energy outlets. This energy in, energy out 1, and there is energy out 2. So energy out 1 and energy out 2. So let's perform this balance. So energy, the energy balance conservation, energy in minus energy out. There is no generation, there is no consumption, is equal to energy accumulated. What is the energy in? The energy that goes into this is Q rho Cp T is equal to, remember our concept of mCt. So what is Q? What is M? M is equal to rho V. So which is density times volume. So in this case, rho Q or rho V. But Q is used for the flow rate, volumetric flow rate. Yeah. So we need to use Q, rho Q to serve as our mass. So then Cp and T. This is kilogram per hour now, mass per time. So that means if we multiply by delta T, is fine. or if you retain it as mass per time, it's also fine. So what is now energy out? There are two components of energy out. There is one that is going out through the tube directly, and there's another one that is going through the jacket. So we need to balance for the two. Let's look at the one that is going out. The one that is going out, it means the one going out of these is equal to the first one going out here is equal to the one that comes in from here plus what changes in that one that comes in. That's the concept. So that is, we look at what comes in, rho Q CPT plus the rho Q CPT within delta x times delta x. Let's look at it. That is Q rho CPT comes in, which is MCT, energy comes in, plus that same energy that comes in, how does it change within that delta x boundary, within the distance delta x, how does it change? That's what the expression is saying. That is, what actually go out here is what comes in plus what changes. So if what changes is negative, that means what is going out will be lesser than what comes in. So it will subtract. If what changes is positive, then that means what is going out will be higher than what comes in. That is the concept expressed here. So remember, this is the what is it called? This is the first E1, the energy out one. Then energy out two is by convection. You remember our convection law, convective heat transfer, and our convention that we use positive and reverse the order T environment minus T. So in that case, the E2 will now be plus UA T environment, which is our TW, T of water in the jacket, minus T. Please remember why this plus is there, because we have reversed TW minus T. If you want to use T minus TW, there is going to be minus. It's going to be minus. So because of the convention, that's why it remains. So TW is 300, remember that, minus T. So so this one is E out 2. So this is E out 2. Is equal to E accumulation. Because accumulation is equal to 0, because we are told that we should work at it as steady state. Remember, we are told that consider that the system is in a steady state, is in a steady state, is in a steady state. So therefore, our accumulation term is equal to 0, and this one, everything equals to 0. When we reshuffle all this, we are going to have something like dt dx is equal to 2 pi Ru Q rho Cp 300 minus T. So when we substitute for all of the known parameters, we know the radius, we know the Q, we know the rho, we know the Cp, we know the U. So that means we can easily integrate this using the common formula. But we want to defer all the solution of differential equation or differential models to the later tutorials. So, but please note this. We need to solve this by using a boundary condition. Our x is equal to 0, T is equal to 20 degrees Celsius. That is the condition, the boundary condition we need to solve this model. So, furthermore, I want us to look at some cases that can also arise in process modeling and simulation. We can have situation whereby we have diffusive transport. We have looked at long parameter system. We have looked at the distributed parameter system. We have looked at convective heat transfer, apart from the normal heat transfer. But we can also have diffusive transport of heat, mass, and momentum. What is diffusion? Diffusion is a slow movement of material. That is, there's no force behind it. There's no pumping. There's no pushing. It's just by diffusion. You all know diffusion. When you push salt here, you don't push it, and the salt diffuses and later move to other layer of the fluid by itself. That is called diffusion. So at times, in a very slow moving system, in a very slow moving fluid body or reaction or material, there could be diffusion, whereby they are moving by themselves by molecular movement, by molecular layer or interaction. So there's no force involved. Then we can have diffusion. So in that case, we have to factor in diffusion term in our model as well. In our model, at times it can be combination of the two, whereby there is convective flow as well as diffusive flow. So we may not have time to actually analyze all of this in our series of tutorials, but I want you to understand that when there is a diffusion of heat, not normal flow like the one we dealt with just now, the fluid is moving in M mass and is moving the fluid. But if it is not like that, the heat is moving molecularly because of the slow motion of the fluid, it's just diffusing by itself. Then we have to use an expression from later or called Fourier's law or Fourier's equation. Q over A is equal to minus K dt. So we have to find Q is equal to minus Ka dt dx. That is how the heat under diffusion will flow. For mass flow by diffusion too, we have to use the fixed law. So that is Ja is equal to minus dA dCA dx. If it is a conservation of momentum, when the momentum is flowing like that as well, we have to use the Newton's law, which is F is equal to minus mu A du dy. So it's good that engineering students, practicing engineers understand all of these techniques to be able to perform effective and comprehensive model. I hope this is very clear. Please post any comments or questions that you might want me to answer, and I will try to respond. So kindly subscribe to the channel. Thank you and God bless.